Paul says, behold, I show you a mystery. He's not hiding it. He's not burying it. He's saying, I want you to see and understand. Welcome to God's School All Access. Michael Brown together with Bob Gladstone. You know, Bob, I wish I could just press a button and get all of the faculty at Fire School of Ministry here, because they've got that father's heart for the students they teach and equip, and yet such a richness of knowledge and experience and background. And that's what we bring together as we do our best to unfold the mysteries of the Word of God. And Bob, as you've spoken so much about Paul's writings, it's obviously you love all of the Word of God and you sit at the feet of Jesus. But God's given you a special burden to learn Paul's heart, to learn the wisdom that God gave Paul. And he uses this word mystery, something that was previously hidden, now being revealed in the fullness of time as Jesus is coming to the world. In the 15th chapter, 1 Corinthians, he's talking about resurrection from the dead. And then he says, hey, I'm going to show you a mystery. How is it a mystery? Is this something that we never knew before, we never saw before? Did he get special revelation?
So the Old Testament view is something maybe even you can speak to. You know, Daniel was told something about being awakened from the dust, and you know, there are hints of it too. Of course, Jesus points out, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and that implies a resurrection that the Sadducees should have understood. But it seems as though it wasn't, obviously, it was veiled enough to be unveiled in the new covenant. It's like the way I understand the wisdom of Ecclesiastes is that the author is saying, look, I don't see the point of life. I fear God. I'm not a pessimist. But I don't see how there is a plan being accomplished because of death. It's the great equalizer, whether you're wise or you're foolish, whether you're wealthy or you're poor, whether you're righteous or you're wicked, everybody dies. What's the point? To me, that is the best and most honest philosophy of life. If you don't see a resurrection very clearly, that there's a clear, bright dawning of the sun, a momentous climactic occasion where we all come to life and live together in the age to come, those who believe. Without that vision, you've got to conclude, I don't get it. So now Paul's saying, guys, this is it. So remember, he's speaking to the Corinthian church that needed some motivation. That's what that chapter is about. Some were denying the resurrection, and they needed motivation to live the Christian life. So Paul says, you're coming alive from the dead. You'll forever be with the Lord. So that's a mystery. It's not just a theological fact. It's a mystery that the theological fact has to be revealed to the human heart, so that at the end of that passage, Paul can say, therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. The Ecclesiastes reference, like everything's in vain. Paul's like, not anymore, because the resurrection is clear now. So you have to have, Paul's saying, you have to have a vision of the resurrection future to motivate your Christian work now. So one more thing about that. It's interesting that some people today still deny the resurrection, or they de-emphasize it so much. They'll admit it theologically, but they're like, we don't think about the future, because a lot of the stuff in the Bible already happened and we have to make the world a better place now. But Paul and the other apostles and Jesus himself taught it as a reality that's still to come, so that we would live now in light of the future. It's exactly the way Paul motivated the Corinthians. You got to know the resurrection in your heart if you're going to be motivated properly here and now. That's why it's a mystery, because when it's revealed to our heart, it gives us that emotional energy to serve the Lord.